All righty. Well, there we go, dudes. Well, thanks again so much. Like we were talking about before the jump, man. It's been cool to see y'all's journey over the past few years since I first got you on here for the EP when that came out, the debut EP. So thanks again for coming back, man.
Oh,
We're stoked to be back.
yeah, good to see you again.
You too, you too. Well, since we got multiple members of the band here, before we get into it, and this will be audio and video, but for the audio listeners, why don't you tell people your names and what you play in the band, and then that way when you're speaking, they know who's talking.
So I'm Bobby. I play guitar.
Graham, play drums.
Matt, I play bass.
Colin here, vocals.
Well, thanks again, fellas, for joining me. Like I said, it's been cool, and I know there's been some recent new members in the band. So Graham and Matt, welcome to the fold. But it's been really cool to see you guys in this journey over the years, man. Within Shallows, like I said, the last time you were on was the Beneath the Surface EP. Not long after that came out, and it was cool, man, like to link up with Saving Vice and have them on the show. I've had you guys on, and like I know it sounds like I'm name dropping for the listeners, but Devitalized, like there's so many awesome bands in the Northeast right now, and just in general, like New England metal. I don't even want to just say like metalcore, just heavy music in general. There really is something in the water up there. Like how much fun has it been just over these like last almost 5 years? It's crazy how it flies, but just to develop the following that you guys have and really, be able to, etch your name in with like just like the history of New England metal, man. It's cool to see you guys making a name for yourselves.
Yeah, no, it's been great. We met a lot of cool people along the way. Like all these bands that we played shows with lately have like we call them our friends, Like it's been an awesome time and seeing the band just progress slowly, but it's been doing good. We've been a band for what, like was it five? Was it calling like 6 years now?
Yeah, since
Five?
2019.
2019. So like seeing it just where it is now from when we started, it just never thought that would happen like that. We have a lot of cool shows lined up, a lot of cool like music coming out soon. So I'm very stoked on it. How do you guys
Yep,
feel?
I agree with Bobby on that. I think we played our first show to date 4 years ago. I just got a Snapchat sent to me today when we played over in Vermont. So to see the progression of where we first started to where we're playing now and where we have played and who we've met along the way, it's really kind of meant a lot to us, especially dropping some of these new songs.
Yeah.
And
That's
Graham and Matt, thanks again for joining too for the pod. But for you guys being more recent members of the band, what's it been like to join the fold, and how did you guys meet up with Colin and Bobby in Shallows and get in the band, man?
So I've known these guys for years, all of them. And I kind of was, seeing everything come to fruition as they started the band. And then they reached out to me to fill in for a show. And that kind of started developing. And then I had just started working with Matt, and he was like the perfect person to recommend or to refer to fill the other position. So kind of all worked out really nicely.
no, really
And
good.
it's been a
Yeah.
good like solid 2 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a perfect fit, man. It was crazy. Like we're looking for two new members and we had him, and he's like, I know a guy. And I was like, and it ended up working out just perfectly, man. It's just cool. And they're friends. Now we're friends. So it's just
Best friends.
best friends. So it just worked out great. It couldn't got any better. So yeah.
So were you guys like fans before you were in the band then? Like just like from the shows and knowing each other, like how much has heavy music been part of y'all's lives even before in Shallows? Like was this stuff always in your wheelhouse too?
So I've played in a band. I've been doing it since like probably like high schoolish, and I actually remember Bobby and Colin at like years ago, like before we even got together, like seeing seeing my old band in Keene, and then like kind of when Graham had like let me know that basically they're looking for um there was an open position whenever I was like super pumped to kind of like I don't know,
Yeah.
get back in touch with like especially well I don't think I've ever met Bobby before, but I had met Colin a few times and I was like at the time of those old shows, like I had never would have thought that like all this would have happen the way that it did. And I feel like it's been like a really kind of magical experience, just like getting together with the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing, been playing in metal bands since I was like a preteen, and just all in the area. And like I've known these guys since well before in Shallows. I've known of Maddie, and we've played shows together in separate bands, but the same gigs in like I don't even know when, 2011 probably.
Yeah, literally.
2010, 11. So we've all like known of each other, and then like Colin and Bobby and I all have like mutual friends throughout Swansea and stuff like that. So we've seen each other at gatherings and things, and just kind of heard about each other's existence for all these years. And then it just everything again, kind of just having that little network already really worked out. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been cool to see the and thanks again, dudes, for joining, man. Like it's been cool to see all the live shows over the years too, since we've talked, and like the gigs that you guys have played. Like one of them, I think what that stood out to me, one of the venues, and it looked like there was an awesome crowd there, was I don't know if it was Vermont, but it may have been on that same tour that I saw Saving Vice in Nashville. And it almost looked like an old church. I don't know if Devitalized was on that one too. Am I remembering that one correctly? But it was like this old church type venue. It looked pretty sick.
Yeah, that was a Stone Church in Brattleboro, and Saving Vice was on it right before they started that tour where you saw them. That was their first show of the tour, and we're like lucky enough to be on that with them. Devitalized, I don't think was on that. I'm not sure. I don't think they were. No, but yeah, that church, that place is sweet. They have really good sound there and stuff, and the sound guy was super cool. And that show was pretty packed. Like it's kind of local to us because Vermont's like right across the border. So like we had a lot of hometown fans come out and family members, and we packed that place. It was a lot of fun, actually. Really cool vibes there.
I think one of the funniest parts about that show, there was this bartender, who's since it's Vermont, it's a little different over there. He had some high shorts on, but he had a very heavy hand that night. So any drinks he was pouring, was
Oh,
pretty
man.
hefty. My
Yeah.
dad got caught in his first mosh pit that show because he came out to support. So that was pretty funny to hear.
Yeah. It was a good time.
So
Yeah,
he
but
had oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
I was just saying it was I think a lot of our family had gone to that show too. So like it was I think pretty much we all of us had family there. So it was cool to like
Yeah.
have them see the new iteration of the band like for probably the first time.
Yeah, because we just started up with these guys. I think we played maybe one
That was
show.
the second show
That
ever
was our
we played
second show with
together.
the new lineup. So that was a good one. That one just showed everyone what like In Shallows 2.0 is, It was really cool.
Yeah, it looked like a sick venue. So hey, shout out to the short shorts bartender for having a heavy hand and getting the crowd a little liquored up and having some good time headbanging, man. But the new one, Side Effects, congrats on that, because as we're recording this, it came out early March, I think the 6th. And I have Spotify, and it's already over like 15,000 streams on there. And even though like even podcasting, like I try not to get caught up in numbers too much, like even like, oh, downloads, but it is a measurable, and the music video for that was really cool too. I think, Colin, in the beginning you kind of had like the Hannibal Lecter mask kind of thing going on. And shout out to Ian. I don't want to butcher his last name. Is it Urquhart? Is that how you say it? Am I close?
You're pretty close. It's Urquhart. Not
Urquhart.
as complicated as you think.
Well, shout out to Ian, who you guys work with for the music video, but lyrically, that's a cool one too. And you guys know from being on the show too, Colin and Bobby, like how important mental health is to me, and I know it's important to y'all. Like, can you go
Mhm.
through that one a little bit and just kind of even like the visual tie-in for that music video and kind of the meaning behind that song? Because so far it's been really ripping for you guys.
Yeah, I think we just try to tie in, the best imagery we could to what we were trying to kind of talk about within the song. When a problem is hurting you and you're doing something that you think is fixing the problem, but it's kind of making you worse. It's kind of a deep cut video in a sense. So that's the direction we took with it, and we're just really stoked on how it came out and a lot of the feedback we've gotten. The straight jacket with the contacts in, and the mask, it all kind of created this crazy vibe. And getting those contacts in my eyes, I wouldn't recommend those to anybody. It was like 10 degrees, and I'm trying to get them in, and took like 15 minutes for each eye.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was hard to watch.
At one point, there was literally like all three of us. I think if you're one of us was like holding Colin's eye open while he was trying to put him into his eye. Then we had like someone holding a mirror up just so he could see what he was doing.
It was bad.
Not great for the mental health.
But yeah, no, that video came out. I was really pumped on that video. Ian killed it. He's done all our videos. He did really well on this one. He had like this vision and he helped us out a lot with everything and he stuck it out. It was like what, 10 degrees that day?
It was a
felt like.
cold
It was
day.
cold.
It was the very beginning of January, like
Yeah.
January 3rd or something.
And so he just all day he was out there in the cold with us filming this video. And I think we captured what we were going for. I mean, it's like a dark, really dark video, and I think it just perfectly like portrays what we're going for. So that was good.
Where was that location that you guys shot that? Like how far ahead of time do you got to kind of almost like plan it out, like where are you going to shoot it and be able to capture that vibe? Is that somewhere that had been like on the radar?
I gotta say, shout out Brattleboro Subaru. It's actually a place I work where the basically the owner of the building is like kind of a I wouldn't say a big fan of the band, and I had seen it in passing. Just I was like, that would be a sick place to shoot a video, and he was nice enough to let us use the space. Sean McMillan, shout out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was perfect. Every time I'd walk by, like I had all these broken windows and like it was just dingy and disgusting. No power, no sewer, nothing. Yeah, it was chilly.
It's like an old car warehouse, right?
Yeah, literally. It used to be an old like lawnmower dealership or something.
Like
Yeah.
tractor shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So like really high ceilings and like weird space.
But you wouldn't know that from the video because it just looks like a old dingy warehouse. But yeah, it's like an old car dealership.
I'm gonna use it, guys.
All right.
Well, I gotta go to work. Thanks for having me.
Graham's got to work, but we're
Yeah.
still going. We're
Bye,
still here.
boys.
Love you.
Thanks
Bye,
for
Graham.
joining, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Yeah, I feel like you guys are good at getting the those locations that have that ominous vibe. Because was it Buried by Mistake? Was that the one that was in like that weird like way back in the day where like the robes and was it that music video from
Yep.
way back
Yeah,
in the
that
day?
was in the cemetery with the crypt.
Yeah. Was it and it's like was it semi like underground too? There was like a weird like a kind of like a I'm trying to even think like almost like a catacombsy vibe you guys had for that video.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a little like, what do you even call those things? Like a crypt or something? I don't know. Like, it was like where they used to keep dead bodies, like in the wintertime back in the day. And that cemetery is like 1800s. That was an old cemetery. So it's very creepy. We're down there and it just felt like we shouldn't be down there, but to get the shot, we gotta get the shot, you know? So yeah, no, yeah. All our videos have like this dark theme, I feel like. 'Cause Phantom Grace had the same thing, you know, that old creepy building and stuff. So it's kind of like, I think it's like our thing. And I like it. So yeah.
I feel like all the videos and that you guys have done have really kind of like what you were saying, Colin, have really been like coherent with the vibe of the song. You know what I mean? It's kind of been like, in lockstep with that. And that's hard to pull off visually sometimes, like creatively, having that vision, trying to take something that, comes from your bones and your soul and your fingers and in your voice, and put a cool visual to it. But in the metal space, man, I've really been digging like the effort that bands like yourselves have been putting into like the visuals. Cause I feel like there was a period where the music videos kind of went away for a little bit, and I know also it's hard too, right? Like because you got to have a budget to like try to capture what you want to capture. And even though there's a lot of cool things you can do on like your phones and the cameras that exist now, like it's still hard. And even like you guys mentioned for side effects, for it to be like 10 degrees out, it's kind of like, well, hey, we're here, we got to roll, we got to do what we got to do. But I feel like in the heavy music realm there's been a lot of really cool kind of music videos lately, and it's been cool to see you guys do your thing with them too, man. You still been working with Robbie, right?
Yeah. So we
Just
just
to bring, go for it,
yeah,
Bobby. Sorry.
all right. Yeah, we just wrapped up our album with him actually. Like we don't have it. We have like everything done. It's not mixed and mastered yet, but we just finished off what 10 songs. So
Mhm.
that'll be coming out in the near future. And yeah, we've all stepped up our game. Like even him as a producer and like recording engineer, he's just from when we first started with him till now, he's like leaps and bounds better. Like not that he was bad before, but he's killing it now. And like he's pushing our songs to like the next level. And I'm very excited to show the world. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool to see the progression over the years, man. Because what was and one that I wanted to ask you guys about, and thanks again so much for joining, dudes, is I'm a big covers guy. I love to hear people's take on things. And this happened not long after we talked, but when you guys did that Hollywood's Bleeding cover from Post Malone, I was like, one, I'm like, that's such an interesting choice. You know what I mean? Because genres are like the genres being totally different, but you guys did your thing and made that like the melodic parts were still super sick, but like how heavy and gnarly you made it too. And that is a heavy song lyrically anyway. Like it's a darker Post Malone song, but how did you guys decide upon that one? And congrats on that one too, because I that one did well for you guys too. But when I saw that you guys did that, I was stoked for you because I'm a big Posty fan. Like I got a chance to see him when he came to Nashville, and the way that he emotes and the way that he performs live too, like it was really worth like every penny. And that was when he had just done the F1 Trillion album, so he actually had like a full live band with him too, which was sick. It was cool to hear like Handy Paint and these older songs like with like a live band. But anyway, I'm ranting like I normally do, and I did have caffeine today. But how did you guys decide on doing that cover, man?
So it was kind of more of like a secluded song that not a lot of people knew about. Um, and I think just it matched our vibe pretty well, just with the lyrics like you talked about, you kind of hit the nail on the head with it. But one thing that stands out to me and my favorite part of it is kind of that like scream rap. So that is one of my favorite songs I think to play live. So I hope to bring that one back in the mix.
Yeah, no, that was fun to record too. And we chose that one just like Colin said, like it was not like a really popular song. It's like the most standout Post Malone song. It was kind of cool to kind of give that one a little bit of life. And it was pretty easy to make that one heavy too. Like that breakdown at the end, like we just saw it was gonna be a good metal song. Like we just had a feeling. So yeah, I love that song still too. Yeah, it's a good song.
Is it fun as a guitar player, Bobby, to try to take something from a different genre and find its place on the fretboard like that?
Yeah, it is. It is fun. It's a challenge, but like, as long as you know the key and the tempo, you can kind of make it work. I watched a couple YouTube videos, saw what posts he was doing, and made it our own. So like, yeah, it's definitely fun. It was different than writing your own song, but I do enjoy it, and I think we're due for another one sometime soon. So
And did was that one with Robbie too?
yep, yep, yep. All our songs we've done are with Robbie. So yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been cool to see like y'all sound over the years and how you guys have progressed. And also, you mentioned him as a producer. Like their record was awesome when they went into that tour, like listening to that one. Like I'm genuinely like a fan of all you guys. So I try not to like nerd out too much, but I can't really help but nerd out. But what can you tell me and the people about what you guys have been working on? I mean, obviously we got side effects. And over the last several years, I feel like in the music industry, regardless of genre, it kind of has been that pace of like, dropping like a single every couple of months and giving people a taste. But for this one, is there like a theme or a concept to the album? Do the songs kind of tie into each other? Do they kind of each stand on their own? Like, how did you guys go about building this one? And even that choice to do like is it going to be like a full length or an EP?
So it is a full length. We're just doing 10 songs. We've already released two of them, Side Effects being one, then Undertaker. So those two made the album also. Um, I think the whole vibe of it, we definitely keep it in Shallow's vibe where it's kind of like some areas dark, heavy. We touch on like a lot of cool things that we've been wanting to kind of bring to light, like Worldfire was one where we felt a certain time in that moment where we felt like the world is actually on fire. So why not make a song about it? So there's definitely a few songs that kind of capture that and in different lights. So we're excited to bring those to the table.
Yeah, we also got some of like the softer songs we've done, but also some of the heaviest songs on there too. Like there's like deathcore style songs on there just because like I'm a Wicked Signs of the Swarm fan, like love that band, and like I just took some of that influence and tried to make it metalcore, but it's still pretty deathcore. It's heavy, and like there's songs on there like Phantom Grace, like back to our roots. So we kind of like went all around with it, and I think there's a song for everyone on this album, so everyone will be happy. And then we got Matt singing on it too, and so it's a whole new sound.
Yeah, Matt, what was it like for you, man? Was this your first time doing like a full length with Robbie? Had you worked with him previously before in Shallows, or is this the first time working with Robbie since you've been in Shallows?
This is the first time that I've worked with Robbie. I'd heard of his so me and Robbie like kind of have like almost parallel histories because one of my old band members was in Saving Vice at one point. So I had kind of always known who he was a little bit, but never really actually connected until working with In Shallows. But I feel like it felt really natural, like coming into it, even as like a new guy, to like work on the songs with these guys. And like I feel like Robbie, I feel like me and him like kind of meshed really well in the studio in like just a really natural way that even with like the new songs and stuff, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like he gives a lot of good creative feedback while also like letting you thrive in like the moments where you're gonna do really well.
He really cares about our band a lot. So like he makes sure that, he'll tell us if something sucks. He'll like be like, that sucks, go
He'll
rewrite
say
that.
it really, really nicely
Yeah,
though.
yeah. He'll just, he'll make sure that, we're pushing ourselves to the max. And like he cares about these songs as much as we care about them. So it's like he's like honestly, he's like another member of the band to us, just because he's been there for so long and how much he cares. And yeah, he just pushes us, and pretty thankful for that for sure.
He's like a killer player in his own right too. Like when I got a chance to see them in Nashville live, I mean, like obviously, you see the music videos and like he and I had chatted it up before here on the podcast, but like musically that dude is really talented, man. And even when I had the dudes in Devitalized on and when they had worked with them and they were kind of similar to what you were saying, Maddie, like giving feedback but also pushing you to like get the most out of you. And shout out to the vocals too with you too, dude. Like how long have you been exercising that? Has that been, I mean, you mentioned like previous bands, but have you been singing since like you were a kid?
I've been kind of on and off again with like singing. I feel like I've always done music in some way, but I think I had like basically it didn't have any interest in singing. And then kind of this whole thing worked out in such a beautiful way that like it just kind of made sense for me to give it a shot again. And it's been a lot of fun getting back into it and kind of being able to put some of my creativity like and mesh it with like what these guys are already doing. And like I feel like it really shows in the album like that we had some really cool moments.
Yeah.
10 songs is an undertaking too, man. And I know you mentioned you guys had, some of these singles that are already included, but like I don't think people realize like once they hear a record, how many times like the band has worked on it. It's just like what goes into just completing one song. And then like you mentioned, Bobby, then there's the mixing and the mastering part of it. And then the other part of it, like the atmospheric parts that get added in beyond the instrumentation and stuff, like from a production standpoint, and I know I didn't prep you guys for this question, but are there any albums just kind of off the dome or anything that you guys are listening to recently, where either from like an atmospheric perspective or like a mixing perspective, you're like, I feel like sonically that's something that not that we're trying to like replicate, but something that like if we can have a record that sounds kind of atmospherically like that or has that type of production level.
Um, Trying to think. This is a hard question because all the songs are so different. But there is atmosphere in all our songs for the most part. We like to dump a bunch of layers on and we'll take some out if it doesn't fit, but for an album, the only thing I can really say, because I was listening to like Signs of the Swarm, Amongst the Low and Empty, that album, and then To Rid Myself of Truth, like their recent album. I've been listening to that a lot. And they do like a lot of cool little sound effects in there and stuff like that. So I took a lot of that and put it in some of the heavier songs. And then, just the metalcore style songs, like we like we like a lot of like pretty pads and stuff like that. Just stuff to kind of give it air and stuff. And you know, that's kind of just every day. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that part, but yeah, it's Signs of the Swarm for sure. Like that's like a huge influence for a lot of these songs, but which is weird because they're a metalcore band, but you know,
I
they're
think as far as like kind of some of the lyrics and how they're delivered, I look at like Fit for an Autopsy. I've been loving those guys for a long time, and just the way they deliver and kind of put that atmosphere with the lyrics and just like heavy punch, just gets you stoked up. So I think we try to kind of take some of vocal patterns that matched our vibe, almost like they did theirs, and really bring it home.
yeah, I agree.
Those guys rip live too, man. From like
Oh,
all
so
the
good.
clips that I've seen from them, like they're on my bucket list of like shows I gotta get to live. And I wanted to give a shout out too, man, to Venom. Like to see that one, like having Spotify, to see that nearing 1 million just on Spotify. So I don't even know what it is like collectively amongst all the platforms, but how cool is it to see something that comes from your soul and your bones like reach an audience like that and blow up like that, man.
I think on my end, the numbers don't do it justice. It doesn't really matter to me to see the number in front of it, but really just like reading some of the YouTube comments on there of what that song meant to people and how they related it to their life and overcame certain things, like that's what really kind of hit me. And every time I feel like the band's not going to go anywhere or do anything good, I'd pop on there and remind myself that people do care and they're out there. So it's nice to see that our music kind of hits people that way, and we just want to keep making music that'll do that to people and give them that reaction.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it blew up like that, honestly. Like I knew it was gonna be a good song when we wrote it, and we were sitting on it for like probably like a month or two, and like we just had a feeling it was gonna be a good one, but not nowhere near like was it over almost 900,000 Spotify streams are now. It's just crazy, but yeah, like just I think it was just really good marketing, and we used like some TikTok influencers and stuff like that, maybe like two or three of them, but it just started popping off. And I remember I was like watching TikTok and everyone was using our song, like it was like a trending song at the time. And it was everywhere. And I couldn't believe it. I just like the song that we wrote here in like, Keene, New Hampshire is getting used all over the world now. And I was just like kind of blown away. So yeah, no, like Colin said, it kind of when you don't think it's going good, then you look back at that and see how that's, how good that song's doing, like kind of just keeps you hope and keeps you going, you know. So
And some of the random messages we got too, just from people around the world too, like someone from Germany tapped in, they're like, "Your song found me like so many miles away in my small little town." So hearing that, it does feel good.
yeah.
I think that's one of the coolest things about art and about music, you know what I mean? And even conversations like this, like you never know who it's gonna reach or who it's gonna touch. Um and uh and I like what you said too, Colin, about like the numbers part of it, like regardless of the numbers, like being able to just reach people. Because even if you reach one person, if it hits, one person, 10 people, that's still people that you wouldn't have reached otherwise if you didn't have the courage to just kind of be vulnerable and get behind a mic or put it to wax, you know what I mean? Like so I feel like it's good fruits of the labor. It is well deserved for you dudes, man. Like, and I'm not just saying that, like, I really enjoyed our conversation the first time you guys came on, sort of at the beginning of the journey for this band. And I really loved Beneath the Surface when that came out, man. Like Life on Lease and like Buried by Mistake, like that the whole thing front to back was really cool. And so to see a few years removed from that, to see a single like that blow up, just from a distance here in Nashville, I was really excited for you guys, man. Like it's cool to see bands on the show, like making the music that they love to make and reaching people. And really, I think a testament to that too, is the live shows. Like we talked about the show at like that church, like all the clips that you guys have posted, like it really seems like you have like a really solid core following. And so, to have that locally and have it in the New England area and then see that expand, and be able to get a comment from somebody like Germany, that's dope, man. So there's not even a question other than just like kudos, man, because that's what it's all about. Like it takes courage to get behind a mic, whether it's a podcast or art or music. And so I always love it when I see artists doing what they love to do, and then being able to see something like that blow up, kind of like, mostly organically, like you were saying, Bobby. Like, yeah, there's influencers out there, um and those guys are great too, because I think that helps bands, kind of reach a different level, people who are plugged into the social media space. But yeah, I was really excited for you guys to see that, man.
And shout out to you, Mike. Man, you've been with us since day one. You trusted us, man, and we're stoked that you've been following along and bringing us back on here. And you've been killing it also, man. You've been going longer than us, so props to you too.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry, Bobby, I didn't mean to stomp on you, dude.
Oh no, it's just funny because like when we first talked, we didn't even, I don't think we played a show yet, and then now we're here, like we're talking again, and we've played a lot of shows and stuff, and like it's crazy how much time has passed in between, but it's nice to be able to catch up and to chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's cool about doing this show, man. Like I to me, I think, and I was talking about this with somebody recently in the music industry here in town, about how, like, you know, there whether it's somebody who's sold a million records, or, somebody who's putting out their first EP, or, a podcast that's either well known, or kind of like, in the ether or whatever, like everybody is valuable, and everybody's time is worthy, man. And like there's bands that, like I remember seeing bands, like I remember seeing Five Finger Death Punch open up for Disturbed in
Oh,
Cincinnati, Ohio in 2008 at a place called Bogarts, which I think is still there. And then the opening band, I think, was Art of Dying from Canada. And fast forward 20 years, and Death Punch has been like this, metal juggernaut for like the past decade plus, And so my point just being that, like, I love whether I talk to people who are at like the beginning of their journey, or they're just putting out their first EP, or they haven't played a show yet, or they've only played a handful of shows. Like there's so much awesome music out there. Like I have friends in Toledo. Shout out my buds in Tropic Bombs, and a lot of them have families or like day jobs and careers, but they're really sick, talented musicians, and they make awesome music. They just put out like this sick vinyl that also opens up into a board game, and like they have a great, like, awesome core following um locally. So my point just being that, like, yeah, man, it's cool, like whether bands have aspirations to be like a big touring band, or they have families and day jobs and they do it locally, and they have like their local core fans. Like everybody's time is valuable, and everybody's art is valuable. So I think it's cool when I see people stick with something, like wherever they want to go with it. I think, especially something as beautiful as music, like, and the time it takes to learn an instrument, or practice, whether it's your voice, or guitar, bass, drums, whatever it may be. Like the time that you put into that, it means something. You know what I mean? Like it's for people who are really making music. Like, I mean, you guys know, making like the energy, the effort that it takes to make it sound good, and also have the courage to do it, I really appreciate. So it's mutual love, man. Like I love doing this. That's why I keep doing it, because I love being able to share these stories with people, because I know how much like music means to me.
Right.
yeah, no, you're right. A lot of work goes into this stuff, that's for sure. Especially when we have day jobs too. So we have to do that. And then this is like another full-time job on the side. So we're basically working two jobs. It's yeah, a lot of hours go into it, and you gotta love it. If you're gonna do it, you gotta love it, because you can't just you can't half-ass it. It'll show. So
Well, and the seeds of what you guys are doing now, man. And thanks again so much, dudes, for taking the time to do this. I feel like I could talk to you for 4 hours, but I promise I won't chew your ears off. But I feel like the seeds of where you guys are now, man, like it was all there in the beginning with that Beneath the Surface EP. And I think it's cool that you guys have been to develop along with Robbie as well. Like you mentioned, working with him and seeing him come along as a producer. Like I think it's cool with bands. Like one of my favorite bands is Parkway Drive. And
Yeah.
I think for the first three, maybe four albums, I think they worked with Adam D from Killswitch, and it was cool
A
to see,
legend.
Parkway. Yeah, dude, in New England, again, there's
Yeah.
something water, man.
Yep.
One of the godfathers of New England metalcore, but yeah, to see like their progression. So I'm excited to hear the full length, man. And as we're doing this, and this will be hitting people's ears in May. But what shows do you guys have on the horizon right now, like going into the summer, that you can tell people about? Obviously, I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to get in trouble with Shay. I mean, I don't think she would yell at me, but uh, I don't want to spill anything that you guys aren't ready to release yet. But like going into June, what's on the horizon?
Hopefully, we're trying to work on some fall stuff. We're gonna get the album out during the summer, do some singles and stuff, but try to get like a good little tour in the fall for like the album release and stuff like that. So that's still kind of in the works, but we have a couple shows in the fall, nothing announced yet, but yeah, we're just slowly picking away at it. The main focus right now is getting the album
Yeah,
out.
we've been spending a lot of time working on the album.
Like a lot. Like it's a lot of
Like
work.
years.
Huh?
Literally years.
Too
Yeah,
many
no,
years.
some of these songs we wrote, man, I think 2 years ago, like on guitar, like the instrumentals have been done for like 2 years. It's just like money, time, like it's a very slow
It's been a
process.
grind.
Yeah, it's been a grind, but it's worth it. And I think once it's out finally, like we can sit back and like relax and like look at it all as a picture and be like, wow, all right, it's finally out after 2 years. But yeah,
And it
so
was pretty fun. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob.
oh yeah, I'm all done. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it was funny because I think the very first song I recorded, it's called Hollow Point. It was a young Colin on the record, so I just re-screamed it like a month ago when we were up there like doing the final finishing touches on everything, and I was like, my screams have just developed so much, and not that I sound like a total different person, but you try to sync it up as best you can on the album.
Yeah.
For the artwork, do you guys how into that process do you guys get to? Oh, Matt's laughing.
I'm
Um,
sorry, sorry.
oh, you're good, man.
Searching
No,
for artists. It's
Yeah.
somebody come find us.
It's been a grind trying to find the album artwork.
Yeah. No, it's tough. Like it's so hard because like with an LMI work, it's like we don't want to like we're trying to find the perfect thing and like it's been hard, man. Like trying to like wrap up all these songs and like have the artwork just like do it justice. And it's like that's like the hardest part right now for some reason is trying to find the album artwork and trying to find the right artist too. We've been doing some shopping, but it's been tough. So if you know of anyone,
Right, we are in the market, and we promise everybody we're not going to resort to AI.
yeah,
yeah, I'll have to think because yeah, there's some of the bands that I've had on over the years. I'll have to circle back with y'all on that because the merch is sick, man. Like I got a shirt. I have a gray. It's the one that has like the candle like on the back of it.
oh
What a
yeah,
I don't know if you guys still have that shirt, but I've got one of those OG shirts. I'm a big
That is
gray
the
guy.
OG shirt.
And I've got a dark gray one. But there's a guy. I don't want to butcher his last name either. But you guys had a sick long sleeve design. Was it Diego?
Yes,
oh yeah,
Diego D'Souza, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
he's done a lot of sick stuff. I think with a bunch of different artists. How did you guys find him?
I feel like we just ended up maybe on an email list, or maybe we saw him on Instagram and just kind of started tapping in with him. But we've been working with him for a while, and he is on our short list of people, just to kind of see what's going on. Um, I think from our perspective too, it is what makes it hard is because we don't really know what we want, and then you see all these pre-made stuff out there, and the good ones are already taken. So it's hard to tell them what you want when you don't know it. So
There's
we
also so much different kind of music throughout the album. It's like hard to find the perfect image that like encapsulates everything that's on the album because there's so much variety, and but
Yeah.
it's also very like kind of like what you were asking about before with like common themes throughout the album. And I think there's definitely that going on. So it's hard to find something that not only like fits each like kind of sound that we have on the album, but also like hones in on like the themes of the album.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's tricky because it's like we got deathcore songs and we got really soft, like melodic songs. So it's like to try to like find something that just really like paints that picture. It's been tricky, but we'll find it. We'll find it.
Can I ask, and again, I don't want to get you guys in trouble or spill anything that we're not supposed to spill. And this will be like May, right about a month from when we're actually recording that. This will hit people's ears and eyes. And thanks again, dudes. But are you going the route of like having like an abstract title that kind of encapsulates the record, or is it going to be like a title track situation? And again, if you can't answer that, I totally get it, but I'm just curious.
It's a title track. Yeah.
I'd say both though. I would say that it's a title track, but like it also, to me, it's both. I think it really fits the whole album's vibe.
Yeah. We don't want to say it just yet, but yeah, no, it definitely, like Matt said, it fits the whole vibe. Like it does have like meaning to it, but it's also one of the sickest songs on the album as well, in my opinion. But yeah. Would you agree, Colin?
I'd agree, Bobby.
So yeah, no, we're gonna drop a bunch of singles too. That's the thing, man. It's like we don't know like how many singles we should drop. Or, I'm an album guy. I like when a band drops an album. I'll listen to it front to back. Like I love that. But I know nowadays it's like singles do a lot better. Like so, we're probably gonna take that route. Where you're probably gonna see a good amount of singles before the album actually drops, just to help promote each song properly. So
Yeah, it's kind of like having the appetizers before the full course. Now that's kind of how things have gone, and sort of like the streaming. But I also think that's, I think for the people who are like the album people, because I'm the same way, Bobby. Like I love like getting like I remember the old school, like when CDs were popping when I was in junior high, dude. That's what I did. I would have my Walkman, and I would open up the CD, and I'd read the lyrics to each
yeah,
song, go through the little booklet. Um, dude, whatever that tape they used to was like industrial grade. Remember, you'd have to
Yes.
try to get like a your fingernail in like the corner, and then at the
uh,
record store dudes, they had it like down pat. Like they would just go zip, and you're like, how did you just do that? Like I've ripped like skin off trying to get these things opened up. Um, so I say all that to say, yeah, I think like the core fans, and I feel like heavy music is still kind of that way too, where like I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased with this music, but I feel like metal fans enjoy the albums too. Like they'll meaning like even though that you're releasing the singles, like they're gonna take the whole thing in when it comes out. You know what I mean? Um, I but to just on the artwork piece of it, are there any? And again, I didn't prep y'all for this one either, but if you had to put a few, and I can't remember if I asked you guys this the last time we talked, which is weird because it's like the beginning of the decade now, and I'm getting older. But like, if you guys had to put a few records in a time capsule, man, like artwork wise, are there any like top of mind where you're like when I'm 70, I'm still gonna think that artwork is sick?
I think for me, alive or just breathing, that image just always sticks with me. That face with like it's like fading out into the wind. I think it's such a simple design, but it's just so dope.
For me, man, I think honestly, I know Colin probably doesn't like this album artwork, but I do like the Bring Me the Horizon suicide season when the girl's holding her like guts in her hands and all the blood's fall. It's like to me, I remember seeing that. That's an old album too, but I remember seeing that. I thought that was pretty cool. It really, to me, that was pretty awesome. Any for you?
I like like iconic, kind of like maybe like Bring the Horizon Sempiternal, or like
Oh,
even That's the Spirit, where it's just like the little umbrella, where it's kind of like simple and just kind of like icon, like unforgettable in a way.
I one recent that I really loved, and shout out to all those bands, man. Alive or Just Breathing, Colin, that's my favorite Kill Switch record. That's like top 10 album ever for me. Like if I live to be 88, hopefully I do, that'll be top 10 when I'm 88. I will still love that record. But have you guys gotten down with Guilt Trip at all, man? Their record Severance, that artwork is a cool kind of like angel demon sort of like in the clouds, but gnarly riffs from those dudes, man. But that's like a recent one for me. One Day Remains, Alter Bridge too, their first record. I like that record with like the river and the bridge and everything. And Justice for All might be my favorite. Master of Puppets obviously is pretty iconic, but just like Metallica and like riff wise, I mean, I know people are like, oh, they were hazing Jason Newsted on that record. Which, but you know, there you can't hear the bass too much on that record, but that artwork for Injustice for All is probably one of my favorites, man. But I'm excited to see it all come together for you guys. Well, before we wrap it up, you know, I really just want to say thank you again for coming back on. I had, like I said, I wasn't even aware that you guys were working with Shay. So when she hit me up, I was like, yeah, let's get him on, man. But genuinely, dudes, like I know bands go through ups and downs, you know, lineup changes, budget stuff. Like you said, Bobby, everybody's got day jobs and lives outside of music. And so it's like, I know at times it can become like a labor of love, but I'm glad that you guys are sticking with it, man. And I'm not just saying this to like butter your bread, but like that you guys have a lot of talent in your band. And I know you put your heart and your soul into it. And like I can hear it and feel it when I listen to it genuinely. And from the first EP to what you guys are doing now, man. And I'm excited to hear the new stuff. But just kind of on that note, with the theme of this show, you know, perseverance and moving forward. Anything that you guys want to share, Matt, Bobby, Colin, on, you know, whether and I'm sure the music does help you guys get through and is very cathartic, but you know, the world's been kind of weird the last few years, man. Like there's been ups and downs in the world, and even some of your guys' songs, like you said, have touched on that. Like, what kind of helps you guys get through the darker days that and obviously this is an entertainment podcast. I'm not a doctor. I always like say that. You know what I mean? But you know, we're dudes that love music, talking about music, but like anything that's helped you guys get through kind of the darker times like over the last few years, or that you feel like might help somebody out there who's struggling, whether it's, you know, depression, anxiety, whatever it is that they're going through, that you feel like might be beneficial.
I think a big one, just a hobby, something where you can put your energy into, that's not work or not something that you have to work super hard at, but something that you find fun and enjoying, something that just fills the time and keeps you not thinking about anything else. That's crazy. For me, that's skateboarding, when I'm not injured, which happens quite a bit, but anytime I can get out there and just free myself and not care about anything else, that's awesome. Also, me and Maddie both have a newfound love for our Pokemon card collection that we've been vibing on. So a lot of time doing that lately.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with Colin because that's what I was gonna say is you gotta have something to do, like something you're passionate about. I feel like just really it just makes life a little different for you, when you put so much into something and then you like see how it grows and like it's like your little baby, like it just gives you purpose, and like I love it. And like I also have other hobbies, like I raced motocross my whole life pretty much. So like that I was busy with that until I got into a band. So just having like something to do, something to like take your mind off of all like the negative stuff out there. And then you surround yourself around such good people and like, with music and stuff, you meet so many cool people, and you could talk and relate and none of that stuff matters. Like politics don't matter, like wars and all that stuff. If you're vibing with something, you're vibing with them. And it's just a good atmosphere for sure. So I'd say that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me, like just positive thinking and trying to through all the bad stuff that's going on in the world and like even just in your personal life, trying to find like the positive stuff and focusing on what you can control and just not letting the negative stuff get to you and having kind of an outlet like music or art or sports or whatever it is that kind of helps you get your mind off the darker parts of life, can do a lot for you.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all sharing that, man. And that's, and again, that's why music is so powerful, man, because there's times where it's like, you know, even though I don't play music, there's things that I can't express like verbally, or maybe you don't feel comfortable expressing it, or you don't even know how to. You know, there's certain emotions that hit you, you know, grief, sadness, anger, depression, and like heavy music has always been like that cathartic outlet for me, and music in general. I mean, I love everything from like Prince and the Talking Heads and Sting, the Police, you know, Posty, like we were talking about earlier, to, you know, heavy music. But heavy music's kind of the one that's always sort of been like that core, like at the center of it all. That was always like the healthy expression of all of the darker stuff that I felt like I couldn't express. You know what I mean? Like I can't stand up at my cubicle and just like do like a death scream. You know what I mean? Because they'd be like, "Guy, yeah, it's security, get him out of here." You know what I mean? You know, so bands like you guys, man, you help me and a lot of other people get through, man, genuinely. So I'm super stoked for you guys. I'm congrats again to for all the singles, you know, whether it's Venom, the latest one, Side Effects. But everybody, if you are new to In Shallows, if this podcast introduced you to these guys, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you guys came back on, man. You have an open invite anytime. So thank you for coming back on the show, and keep doing your thing, man. Like I said, I think one, I know I'm kind of repeat myself a little bit, but I think that's been one of the coolest things for me, just from a distance on socials, seeing here from Nashville, like the live shows and people engaging with you guys live. Like I'm sure that that's probably wild when you go to a place and you see these people singing your lyrics back to your headbanging to your music, and how cathartic that is to play live. So I'm genuinely excited for y'all, and I can't wait to hear the full length record, man.
We can't wait to show you, man. And you know, again, thank you so much for having us on and being such a dedicated listener, fan, and podcaster. You know, you kill it in all aspects of life, and we're thankful to have you a part of our team.
Likewise, man. Well, for people who aren't aware, I'll put up the links in the podcast description, but let them know where they can find y'all out there, man.
So we're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music. Did I say that? There's pretty much all platforms. And then obviously social media, like we're on TikTok, uh, Instagram, Facebook. I don't think we have Twitter. We don't really,
Oh, we
we
gotta
don't
get
do,
on tweet.
we don't do Twitter, but pretty much everything besides that. So
We're working on getting on touch tones. So if you have any connects for that too, we're looking to line that up.
yeah, yeah. So we're trying to be easily accessible to everyone. Like we're really honing in on that. So yeah, just type in our name in Google. You should be able to find us.